you already have an educator within your staff that has pulled my daughter aside and said, well, you're a minority, so you know better than to engage in certain things.
Wow.
Whoa.
When I was
Wait. No. I did not expect it. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's me again, me Poppin, bringing you the videos like usual. And this time we're gonna talk again about CRT. And I noticed that, well, let's just say, do you know what CRT is? Well, to give you a gist about CRT is that you're gonna identify a lot of issues depending how they're related to your skin color, right? So for example, if there's a white person and a black person and you both go into a store, the way the store owners treats you defines the whole thing. So for example, if the white person is helped first, they help him because they know he might be sure what he wants to buy. He might have the money to do it because he bought before, so he knows what it's gonna be. And we know he might have the money. So yeah, we don't want to waste our time. We want to get the money out. We're not gonna wait, let the good customer wait. Because the black one, maybe they don't know what they want to buy, or maybe they don't have enough money, or maybe they want something different, or they want to pay later. They're gonna just talk. They're not gonna buy, leave, and everything because they might be browsing a lot. So usually they have too little money to just make a quick decision. That's why they help white people first. Or if you help the black person first, it means you don't trust him. You want him out of your store as quickly as possible because they rob people when you try to help the white people first, right? But you can't give somebody an option A and an option B and then be like, well, whatever you choose, there's always a racist action behind it. That's the problem that I have. Because if you're gonna teach that all white people are privileged, how do you think my white son is gonna look at me and then look at his mother and be like, oh my god, mom, we're gangster? Does that mean my little brother that's browner than me, does it mean that I'm oppressing my little brother?
When she procures bids for ISU for construction and came to your school and spoke to your staff for 2 straight days. Why did she do that? This is why she did that. This is why she did that. To make sure that when our students want to know whether or not they have a vagina or a penis, they have pictures from your staff to be able to help them. They don't have enough sex. They don't have enough anal sex. They need adults to tell them how to masturbate. And what I call that is... So here's what I'm asking you. You have a hard time hearing this from me, but this is for 10 years old.
10 years old, people. 10 years old. So how can you create a class that you don't even tell me that you're teaching me? I find out through Zoom that you're doing it, or when suddenly my kids are reading the book. And when I confront the school board, they're like, you know what? Hey, that's not a place to talk about these things. What do you mean? It's okay to talk to my child about these stuff? I don't need a savior. You're not Jesus. What's wrong with you?
And up, and this bill was passed for 5-year-olds. And you have a hard time me sitting here telling you the words anal sex, masturbation. That's hard for you, or the time's up? Because the time's not really up. I don't believe you, Mr. Wiley.
That is so narcissistic. You know, when you try to explain your frustration, you have so only a certain amount of minutes that you can characterize, summarize your whole... Yeah, your time's is up. Kiss my freaking... Ay. It's like, yeah, it's harmless. It's not harmless. I don't need my kid to go funky, experiment what he's gonna do with his freaking body and see what's gonna happen. I remember there was a time that when you actually talk to any child about sexual stuff at a specific age, like 12 or below, it was seen as pedophilia. Who are you? Why? Why would you even go there? Why do you find that interesting? It's so weird.
That my time is up. But I'm going to end with this. I'll close with this because this was too much for you. I can tell right now. And that's why you're cutting me off. But last time I said, you know what? Critical race theory. Little girl in the back was laughing every single time Megan said something because white people oppress black people, right? Isn't your principal black? Isn't your mayor black?
Okay. She kind of got her there, yeah.
For years, we have allowed so-called experts to decide the culture for our schools with little input from taxpayers who fund their programs or teachers who make them work.
So the fact that I send my kids and I pay for you, and then you're going to teach them something that I don't agree with, which will bring actually some discomfort in my family? Nah, man, if this happens in my country, I'm going private. Why would you even share such a personal thing with kids? So you can see or enjoy the power that they're like new to the ideology. And you're like, okay, well, we're going to get something out of this. It doesn't make any sense. You're just power tripping.
We've been lied to, attacked, silenced, and had our jobs threatened. They counted on us to fold, but they counted wrong, which explains a lot. Tanner was invited to speak here, voiced his opinions in good faith, and was banned from LCPS property. Now that he's been reinstated by a judge, we must ensure this never happens again. For the members of Chardonnay and Tifa, here is your assignment with a copy of the First Amendment attached. I'm going to leave this here, and I hope you learned something.
That is just freaking weird. The fact that they can ban you also, yeah, you're not allowed to come on the campus or whatever. It's my kid. You can't just tell me you are paying, you're sending your kid, you can keep sending your kid, but you are not allowed to be on the campus and be able to talk about your discomfort. Who are you? Why do you believe you're so righteous or something like that, that you can just do it? And you know what even surprises me? There's actually a North Korean going around that actually says the way you're talking right now is the way she has been taught in North Korea.
A guy like, I fell in love with this country. This is such a wonderful country. I never been accepted more than this country was. And at Columbia University, literally every professor was saying that, the problems that we have on today's world is because of white men. How they colonize Africa, how colonize, Asia, right? That's how they mess up everything. And they are the one who needs to be blamed. And I couldn't believe that, am I sitting in North Korea's classroom or in America, actually? I couldn't believe why people are hating their own people that much.
For having me speak. My name is Keisha King. I'm a mom of two, one who's in the Duval County Public School System and one in private school thanks to school choice. I'm also a member of Moms for Liberty, representing thousands of parents. Just coming off of May 31st, marking the 100 years of the Tulsa riots, it is sad that we are even contemplating something like critical race theory, where children will be separated by their skin color and deemed permanently oppressors or oppressed in 2021. That is not teaching the truth, unless you believe that whites are better than blacks. I have personally heard teachers teaching CRT, and we have had an assembly shut down because Duval County Public School System consultant thought it would be a great idea to separate students by race. This is unacceptable. CRT is not racial sensitivity or simply teaching unfavorable American history.
Imagine if both of my kids went to the same school and they separated them by race. Do you have any idea what damage you're gonna do? One of my sons is very brown, the other one is very white. They're so different and at the same time so alike in other ways. Do you have any idea the kind of damage that you're gonna do to two brothers? Are you freaking kidding me?
Or teaching Jim Crow history. CRT is deeper and more dangerous than that. CRT, and its outworking today, is a teaching that there is a hierarchy in society where white, male, heterosexual, able-bodied people are deemed the oppressor, and anyone else outside of that status is oppressed. That's why we see corporations like Coca-Cola asking their employees to be less white, which is ridiculous. I don't know about you, but telling my child or any child that they are in a permanent oppressed status in America because they are black is racist, and saying that white people are automatically above me, my children, or any child is racist as well. This is not something that we can stand for in our country. And don't take it from me, look at the writers of these types of publications. Our ancestors, white, black, and others hung, bled, and died right alongside each other to push America towards that more perfect union. If this continues, we will look back and be responsible for the dismantling of the greatest country in the world by reverting to teaching hate and that race is a determining factor on where your destiny lies. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
I actually think at this point, America is already dismantled. I think you already have given too many fingers and right now you don't even have your arm anymore. I think it's too late. But I do see a rise of people starting to open their mouth and say, well, hey, what the heck is happening? We need to do something about this because it's just messed up. I got another clip here. This one is also kind of interesting.
My name is Ian Rice. I've got 2 children here at the Caledonia School District. It's very apparent here by all of the parents that have spoken that this board and the school district is failing. More importantly, I came here to talk about critical race theory. This theory was never meant to be brought into grade schools, high schools, at all. It's actually taught in the collegiate atmosphere, and more importantly, the legal portion of the collegiate atmosphere.
I've actually heard that. A lot of people keep saying that, yeah, we're not teaching this to kids. We're not doing that, bada bing, bada boom. But we keep finding people that do it at those places. And everybody is like, it's an exception, an exception. No, we're done with that. Why do you keep saying it's an exception and we keep finding people doing it in secret? We find out through Zoom calls and those stuff. It's just weird. We're supposed to trust you with our kids. And now we can't? People are going to find a different way to do that stuff. And just like the news, like we can't trust the news, it's going to be time that we can't even trust the schools. So people are going to start creating private schools. Because you always have this, I want to be like Jesus for all these people. So I'm going to enter this organization. I'm going to switch it. And then you switch it, and it blows away. And you said, that is racism. You don't support us. You made it worse. Look at how many people are leaving specific cities. And you're like, oh man, that's racist. What happened to the crime? You said defund the police. Now all the black people are like, you can't do anything to me because that's racism. So I'm gonna leave and you're gonna be, well, if you don't let them rob you, that's racism? What kind of logic is that?
To see different laws through the lens of race, from an ethics and an ethical standpoint, right? Not for grade schools and high schoolers. The problem with bringing it to high school and grade school level is that we don't have the educators to properly teach these kids.
Yes.
They're using it as their own agenda to indoctrinate the kids to hate each other.
Preach.
And whether you believe that to be true or not, the reality is that's what's happening. Critical race theory is teaching that white people are bad. That's not true. That would teach my daughter that her mother is evil. You already have an educator within your staff that has pulled my daughter aside and said, well, you're a minority, so you know better than to engage in certain things. Wow. When I was
Wait. No. I did not expect that. I saved this video for last. I did not expect that. I don't need somebody to move my kid away and say, you know better than that or what you're going to engage or whatever, something like that. Are you freaking kidding me? Nah. No. This is a nervous laugh. No.
I was brought to the school's attention, nothing happened to the educator. Instead, my daughter was brought in, and she was ridiculed. So my question is now, with critical race theory being brought in, what is your criteria to educate the educators? And who are you to educate my children, or any of our children, in life issues? That's our job. Our job is to teach them math and science. Our job is to teach them about life.
That is a very good point. I teach my kid about life. You should just teach them other stuff. Math, history, languages, that's it. Yeah, I'm not supposed to know what your marriage life is, who cheated on you, what you have to do. Nah, man, keep all the personal stuff out there. If you don't have a friends to talk to, go get a therapy.
I believe racial issues and tensions across the U.S. are nowhere near what they used to be decades ago. Do we have a long way to go? Sure. Do we still have individuals out there that need to be taught? Absolutely. But I believe the people here don't look at me as a black man. They look at me as a man standing in front of you addressing the issue that we all are very passionate about.
And let me end it with this one because look at how stupid this teacher is. Okay? Because a straight kid was asking, why can I not have one of those rainbow cupcakes?
But just because I support another thing doesn't mean I don't support straight people too. Just because I'm Mexican doesn't mean I don't also support black people, or Irish people, or ignorant people.
Never said it was like that.
Okay.
Just said he did. No word.
Would you like a special unicorn cupcake? cupcake for being straight jerk?
Yes.
All right, come here. Get a straight jerk cupcake. For being a pill.
I'm just trying to be annoying.
You are annoying. You were very successful. Congratulations.
Thanks.
What a dip. All right.
What?
A dip. Like a dipstick, a butthead, a weasel. A weasel. Pain in my butt. This summer is LGBTQ month, and I'm not gonna see you, so I want to give you something. Thank you. You're welcome. Everybody's welcome to a unicorn cupcake. I just want to make sure there was enough for the people that wanted them.
So let me end this in a beautiful political way. She just wanted to be sure that all the other people that identified with anything in the LGBTQIA something extra, you know, and then she wants to give the straight guy one, because hey, most of the other people were so marginalized, so they deserve it more. That's what she's thinking. So the fact that somebody says, hey, but I want one too, and he was just a little annoying, which he admitted to, she decided, well, what a dick. Are you freaking kidding me? Never in my life a teacher at my school actually cursed me or said anything like that, like, you're a freaking idiot. You're a dick. I don't care if you're black, white, or whatever. You shouldn't touch the kid. You shouldn't tell them anything about life, and you need to control your temper. You're supposed to be the example of society. If at school you're already kind of gangster, and then you're also blind to the other side because that is evil and that is good? Nah, man. Private school, here we go. But before you go, remember to like, share, and do all this stuff. And see you guys next time.
Don't get me wrong, ako sa kita bong. Buta fire na mi blonde, kush hash, purple skunk, criollo, colombici, jam, turloqueta, verdeta, welcome.